guys, welcome to Colored Pips first video. Alright, gonna be doing some chart breakdowns for you guys here. Let's get to one that's not my main chart, so not to mess up my work. So usually guys, how I like to start off, I like to start off further out and then work my way in, right? So from the weekly chart, we can see price has been here before, and usually it moves pretty erratically. You can see here it spiked up, and it fell apart, came back, struggled a little bit, broke, eventually came back down, used it as support, again, came back, struggled a little bit, boom, fell, came back up, resistance, support now, came back down. So this is a pretty important level. However, just because this is an important level doesn't mean that's the only basis we go off of. So me as a technical trader, I like to focus primarily on the technicals, but I also keep in mind the economic side of things. So if we were to start from scratch, first thing I like to do is go to a line chart, right? And let's go ahead and hide my EMAs real quick. All right, so I like to go ahead and use this simply because I like to see if price has been at this point before, how it reacts. So you can use a drag tool. I like to just get a horizontal line though. Here we go. And where it's at now, this is where price is. So if you look to your left, structure leaves clues. We got a touch here, we got a touch here, boom, boom. So we got a few touches, right? We got at least 3 touches. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a random line there. This is my weekly resistance line, okay? Go ahead and lock that into place there. And since that's currently where price is at on the weekly chart, I don't necessarily need to go any more detail on that. So I'm going to switch back to my regular chart. I use candles. Whatever your prerogative is, I like the candle use though. So next thing I see here on the weekly chart, it's currently in an uptrend, right? So if you look back here, boom, boom, higher high, higher low, higher high. A low, lower high, lower low, then we get another higher high. So higher low, comes back up for a high, structure break here. However, once it comes back up here, according to history, we're at a point right now where gold tends to go up at the beginning of the year. So let's go back, January. What did gold do? It went up, right? If we go back, 2017, where are we at? January, baby. Right here, gold goes up again. So I know from history, as I saw it happen at least the past 2 years, gold goes up in January/December. So I'm getting ready for the buy signal. We currently have a reversal pattern here, so you can expect the dollar to gain a little bit more strength. If we drop down to the daily, you see a double top, and so I'm expecting to come right back here and test this level of support, right? And once it gets here, we can expect a little bit of struggle, and then we're going to see some further upside. So as of right now, let's just draw ourselves a nice little line. Give me a second here. Yeah. I'm not paying for that. All right. So I would put it right here, honestly, or if you want to use where close price action was, you could put it here. Now, this is just kind of touching where it touches the most wicks, right? Close price here, close volume, then we got wick. So we can pretty much say this spot here or this level here is pretty important. All right, now this is also purple. I haven't used this one in a while. Let's go to red, okay? So now we got our support here. So if you want to sell, you can sell here. I wouldn't. I'm not a bear right now, so I'm not gonna be in the market as a bear. But I'm waiting for it to get right here, right? As you saw on my first chart before I switched over, this is my target reentry area. And on the daily chart, we actually have an uptrend. On the weekly, it shows a downtrend currently, but we know it's about time for an uptrend. So right here, I got the high, higher low, and we got a higher high. So I'm taking my fibs from relative low, relative high, boom. So as of right now, this is a 38.2. Now this is a pretty good spot, pretty important spot. If you want to, you could probably look for an entry here. I wouldn't, but some people do. I already saw that it came up, it failed, it didn't break this point here, so it's still a higher low, which means to me further up or downside. Plus you see all these wicks, we got 4 daily wicks here, which means further downside. So I'm still keeping my bias that it's going to come to this level, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Could shoot up here, but I'm going to trust my gut and expect it to come back down here. So I'm going to draw a little zone here on 61.8. That's called a golden fib. And I guess no pun intended, I trade gold and I use a golden fib. So I'm going to use my line from the close price action to the end of that wick, which just happens to cover that 61.8 at the same time. So for me, that's 2 confluences, right? Confluence is where you have more than one indicator indicating something. You use those together, you got yourself a nice little pattern. So at the same time, we can use a trend line, 1, 2, run it through. Here shows us that it's currently an uptrend also. So the last 3 times, 4 times, get rid of this little bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 5 times it's come across this trend line, it's bounced off, which also looks like right here, daily chart, if it comes back down to it, where does it line up at? 61.8. So already I have 4 confirmations that we are going to get to this point, and once it comes here, I'm in it for the long haul, right? So even if you took it, even if you took it from the 61.8 and you went up to the negative 27% extension, we got ourselves roughly around 5,362 pips on a swing trade. So that's what I'm waiting for. I will have a few entries along the way, so it'll be pretty steep little trade. But that's what I'm looking at. That's how I break down gold from start to finish. And then on my other chart, I just kind of tweak it. So now I'm just kind of watching on lower time frames to see what price action is doing. You can see it's struggling a little bit right here, but if you look left, it's done that before. Struggled a little bit right here. And it tried to break it here, but then it said, nope, not yet. So now it's coming to retest or try to break it again, and then it's going to come back down here. And we place a buy. We're going to ride it up, baby. So let's go ahead as a gold breakdown. And if you guys want a different pair, let me know, and I'll break it down for you. All right? Have a good day.